It's May 1831 in Kirtland, and new convert Levi Hancock is confused. There's the church, and there's the steeple. He opens the doors, and there's lots of crazy people. Wild stuff is going on with a number of the young new elders at church. Some have outlandish manifestations of the Spirit, speak kooky languages, pretend they have the sword of Laban, fall on the ground, or pretend to be a snake sailing to the Lamanites. What is going on? Levi wasn't led by the Spirit to act like this and kind of feels,
maybe I'm not as pure as these guys.
Well, false spirits are deceiving people. Wolves in sheep's clothing are preaching false doctrines. Hypocrites are wearing all kinds of masks. And Satan and his minions are working overtime to deceive and blind the eyes of good and honest disciples. As Parley P. Pratt returns to Ohio with a report about the mission to the Lamanites in Missouri, he's astonished at the incredible growth of the church since he left. He's thrilled to find that the prophet Joseph has moved to Ohio and that it's now the hub for the church. Excitedly, Parley visits the new congregations, but is also very confused by some of the religious fanaticism he sees. This is definitely not what they'd been taught. So, Parley and other traveling elders discuss the problem with the prophet. Joseph had also been confused about this problem and humbly recognizes he needs to better know what to do. The elders join him in prayer, asking the Lord about these different spirits and manifestations, and they're taught that Satan is sending forth his false spirits to deceive and overthrow people. The Lord also teaches them that through the priesthood and the Spirit of God, they can detect and deal with these false spirits. He then arms the elders with power to resist evil influences, as long as they remain humble. So, with this powerful revelation in hand, and with the Lord's clear direction, the elders visit the various congregations, rebuking these false spirits with a loud voice, and then teaching the people how to better lead their church meetings in the spirit of truth. The Lord further clarifies that some of the deception happens because of hypocrites who give Satan and his minions more power. Now, a hypocrite is someone who pretends to be what they're not. Like when you're nice, only when people are watching. Yeah, a hypocrite is someone who acts differently by using a fake personality or mask in different situations. Now, to be clear, we're not talking about wearing a quarantine mask, putting on a Halloween costume, or even an actor on stage playing a role. And who's totally cool, by the way? No, we're talking about someone who acts one way in church, but puts on a completely different mask at work or at a party. I mean, do we act one way with our family and completely different in public or with our friends? Remember, the Lord knows who we really are, so we never need to pretend to be anyone else. In section 50, the Lord further teaches that one way to avoid deception is by paying attention to feelings of light and dark. Now we know that light comes from the sun, but we also learn that it comes from the Son of God, Jesus Christ, the light of the world. That which is of God is light, and as we stay close to God, we receive more light, which grows brighter and brighter until the perfect day. Darkness, on the other hand, doesn't edify or lift us since it's not of God. So how do we get rid of darkness and have more light? Well, it's not by seeking the spotlight. Sorry, actor dude. But we need to pay attention to what we're doing when we're alone or on our phones. Is it bringing us closer to Christ? Think about TV shows, music, language, friends. Paying attention to our emotions and feelings can tell us if we're being deceived by the dark or being led by the light. So, CTL, choose the light. Now, a little later, someone else seeking the light and trying not to be deceived was Leman Copley, a wealthy landowner near Kirtland. He generously told the saints who just arrived from Colesville, including the Knight family, that they could all live on his land, build houses, and plant crops. Leman had been a member of the Shaker religion before he was baptized, but he was trying to blend his old beliefs with his new ones, which wasn't really working. Shakers believed baptism was unnecessary, staying single was better than marriage, and, oh yeah, Christ's second coming had already happened, and that he appeared as a woman. Lehman asked the prophet some questions, and Joseph received section 49, which clarified the true doctrine that yes, marriage is ordained of God, that baptism is an essential ordinance, and Christ's second coming hasn't happened yet, but everyone will definitely know when it does. The Lord then calls Copley to go with Sidney Rigdon and Parley Pratt to the Shaker community and share this revelation with them. Among the Shakers, they met the leader Ashbel Kitchell, who invited the missionaries to join them for a meeting. When the meeting finished, Rigdon stood and asked, "May I share something with you?" Kitchell agreed. Sidney read all of the revelation in section 49 to the Shakers and then asked, "Can we teach you more about this?" Kitchell declared, "No, we reject it as being from God and want no more of it." Disappointed, Sidney went to leave, but Parley was not quite finished. He arose, shaking the dust from his coattail as a testimony against them, prompting Kitchell to call Parley a filthy beast. And let's just say things didn't end on a happy note. Unfortunately, soon after, Lehman Copley hardened his heart and gave up trying to reconcile his old faith with his new beliefs, and broke his agreement with the Colesville Saints, sadly, forcing them off his farm. The Colesville Saints now have no place to live, which causes a whole new set of problems. But it leads us to Zion, which we'll learn about next.